Hey everyone, now that we have the kitchen and the bathroom all done, we're ready to kind of take a look at the rest of our floor plan and see if there are any other permanent fixtures or other major appliances, maybe in a specialty room that we have. And in this case, we don't have very much. In our cabin here, as I scan the plan, I can just see that we've got a special floor set up in this corner of the living room with a wood stove. So that's kind of a significant thing, or a significant feature we want to have in this house. So we want to get that in yet before we worry about other smaller details and move forward. So in order to do that, we are going to have to create a new little brick floor. And that brick floor is going to look like this, with these dimensions on each side. We're going to draw the sides that we can easily, and we'll do that 45-degree line last. And with that, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure you are on the main floor plan view. As you can see here, I got my couple working section views, but that's fine. We're going to need those in a second actually. And we're going to start a new floor right up here. And I'm going to just choose a generic floor at this point because we're going to duplicate it and make it custom. So we're going to edit the type. We're going to go duplicate right up there. And we're going to call this wood stove floor bricks. Wood stove floor, maybe dash bricks, so I know what material I'm making it out of. Click OK. And then I'm going to work on that structure. And luckily we just need the one structure. So we're going to leave it set, that function set the structure, or sorry, need the one layer. We'll leave the one layer here, set the structure. The material is going to get switched out to bricks once the computer does a little thinking. There we go. I'm just going to scroll down through my list, or you could just start typing it in if I haven't shown that yet. Pretty fast to find things like that. Brick, common. Double click, and we're going to set this to 1 inch thick. So 0 space 1 enter. And they are all set for a little 1 inch thick brick floor to be put in our house. And this is really how any flooring can be set up in the house, whether it's this brick, laminate, hardwood, and so on and so on. You can design your own floors and add a thin little layer. Like a hardwood and something might be actually more like a 1/2 inch thick or something. Brick being a little bit thicker. We click OK. Should be OK here. And the computer is now ready for me to draw because we're in that floor tool. And we're going to be drawing our own line. So I'm going to go up to the draw tool, line. I'm going to scroll in here in the corner of the house that we're working. And our lines are going to be based off of, I think we're just going to go with the sheetrock to keep this simple. And we're just going to start in the corner. Flipping back to my dimension there. So in the corner, it's not snapping. Interesting. There we go. For some reason, somehow I got it clicked off. So I just clicked that line tool again to put it in that mode. Start in the corner, and I just simply move my mouse over till it's 3/6. Click, and I'm going to go straight up until I'm 2/0. Click, escape once, so I can restart in the corner. Go 3/6 up this direction. Click, and out 2/0. And then actually just close off the area. And there we go. Escape a couple times to cancel the drawing tools. And that's it. I can now go ahead and finish my floor. Oh, there's a warning. It says, hey, these two floors overlap each other. This brick one and the subfloor that's on our main floor system. And that's fine at the moment. I kind of want to leave that set to show you why that happens. So they're overlapping. So I'm going to bring this section view tool down so I can get a sideways view of what's going on. So I drag that down. Going through the area I want to see, I double click the blue arrowhead. snap in, I zoom back in on the left side, and there it is. So as you can see, that brick floor system, the subfloor was 3/4 of an inch, the brick is 1 inch. And what happens with floors is the top edge, or I want to say the top surface, is their 0 reference. So if I want this to sit on top of it, I need to do a 1 inch offset because that's how thick I made that floor. So I just highlight that floor, go over here where it says height offset, and 0 space 1, enter, enter. The second enter applies. So when you're highlighting a number, 0 space 1, I'll do it one more time. Enter is for the box to tell it the dimension, and my enter again was then to apply it automatically. Or you can just type it in and then click apply. Both ways work. And there we go. Our brick floor is sitting on top of our subfloor, or our structure floor. And all other finished floors would also be sitting up above this 3/4 inch subfloor. Right, these are boards that support everything. The OSB or plywood tie it together, and then finished floors go on top of that. So I'm going to go back to my main floor. Alright, we got a nice brick floor area so it can handle some heat. We have a wood stove. So let's go ahead and grab that component tool, load a family, because I've never used the wood stove family yet. And that would navigate to, group drive, teacher, student, Genota, Revit extras, cabin components, and go down to the bottom, wood stove angle pipe. Remember, if you happen to see the same file, don't use number files. Every once in a while I go in and clean those up. So wood stove angle pipe, double click it, it loads, and don't worry about how it's positioned at the moment, just kind of somewhat center it on that brick. Click to place, escape a couple times, and now I can rotate it so it looks correct. I'm going to click on the object I want to rotate, so it highlights, it automatically takes me to the modify tab, and then now I can use the rotate tool, and I can just start at one of the 90s is fine, and go 90 like that. Nope, not far enough. So now I'm going to click rotate again. I'm going to start at the same 90. This time I'm just going to go 45 degrees more because that should be right. And there it is. And while this object is still highlighting until it's still blue, I can actually just use the arrow keys now to kind of move this around. And I'm going to line that wood stove up somewhat flush with the outside edge there. And then I'm just going to try to get this pretty centered around the edges of the wood stove. Or sorry, I'm going to get it somewhat centered with the edges of the brick there. And that's it. So that's dropping in a new floor, a finished floor of some kind. Another component on the main floor. And if you had any other built-ins, specialty cabinets, I suppose at this point, that's the kind of stage we're in. We want to add the rest of those things now. And furniture is in the very near future. In fact, if you wanted to do like a furniture plan, a good idea would be to create a whole new copy of this floor plan so you can have a view that just has furniture and details like that. And how you do that would be going over to our plan views or our project browser, and you would right click on main floor, duplicate the view with detailing, and it creates a copy of what we just had. And now I could rename this floor, or rename this view to be main floor, let's go furniture dash furniture. So that way if you wanted to add beds, dressers, couches, dining room tables, we would have a view that is all set up to just have those things in automatically. And then you can jump back and forth between a view that's more about the framework of the layout of the house, the walls, doors, windows, permanent things, and then you'd have a view that's for all your furniture and accessories that you would add later on. So now that you have the second view, main floor with furniture, you could go ahead and try putting in a couch or something. So I select the architecture component tool. Then we're going to load a family if it's the first time you've used that kind of furniture. And this time, instead of like the G drive, to cabin, we're going to go right down here to Imperial Library. You might have to scroll down to see this in your list. There we go. And I'm looking for furniture, some kind of seating. And here you can see you got some stools, chairs, and a couple different couch and a sofa. So I'm going to do the sofa. Double click it. You can see it loads, and I don't know if this sofa, it has a couple different sizes. And I will go ahead and just place it somewhere to show you in this example. Now there's a couch in the living room. However, if I actually go back to the original main floor view or plan, well, there's a couch here too, even though it's not the furniture view. So on this one, what I would do is just simply click off to the side and then click VV on the keyboard for view visibility. That brings up this window, and we'll scroll down and find furniture. There it is, and I'm going to uncheck furniture systems just in case too. I'll click OK, and away it went. So that's how this works. So everything exists in the entire model. What you have to think about is that all of these plan views are really just windows, and you can kind of filter what you see in each window. So you go back here, couch is still there. This main floor furniture view is going to allow us to keep seeing all the models, the beds, whatever else we want to put in here. But in this view, we took off that stuff, so it simplifies it, and it can be a different kind of view or a different kind of drawing. All right, I think that wraps up this little step. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.